Hello there and welcome back to the next episode of Jurassic World Evolution 2 in Lake Biosyn, our vanilla gameplay to the latest DLC in which we are going to build a Biosyn inspired lake, which is more likely focused on a almost theme park-ish vibe. And today we are going to add another habitat, which is going to be the one for the Pyroraptor. A little bit of a different one in comparison to those I've done in the past. A lot more terraforming going on over here. You can see I'm making a little bit of a rocky hill where they are living. So just making sure that everything just works fine. Connecting obviously the beautiful new watchtower. Honestly, this is one of the coolest additions with this DLC, and let alone the Hyperloop and some other things from the DLC make this DLC almost a must-have when you want to play Jurassic World Evolution 2, especially on a creative in a creative way, because obviously that just offers so much more control over guest flow and just in general makes the habitats a lot more natural by putting these things right within the habitat without having to connect ugly pathings and stuff. So you can make so much more. Also, you could do some really cool safari inspired habitats with a lot of different species in, and then just connect it with these watchtowers, and you would still have a great visibility. And I really am a huge fan of this introduction to the overall, to the overall game with this tower. It makes a lot of sense to have that. But yeah, just to talk a little bit more about this very habitat in front of us. My idea was to make this a very rocky habitat for the Pyroraptor. It is definitely an animal that could withstand a lot more colder temperatures. Unfortunately, we don't have snow. Snow. I don't even know if you can snow in here as weather, but we don't have it as a texture, so I couldn't do this like a snowy peak. I wish I had a snowy peak, but I couldn't, so I made it a rocky peak, and then just try to kind of come up with a little waterfront with all these rocks, almost working as like a little how's a wave breaker, even though this lake most likely won't have any waves, but yeah, just to have a nice look of it, and just trying to make this area a little bit themed. So we are also going to use actually some theming pieces over here, as if this is kind of a lost little beach in which one of the research crews has landed at some point, but then abandoned that area due to the fact that the Pyroraptors living in this area might not be the best neighbors ever you can have. And so obviously there is no one using this bush over here, the bigger bush, as a little bit overgrown element. I really like this bush a lot because the hitbox of this thing is potentially the best hitbox we have in the game, because the actual hitbox is only around the trunk, and all the leaves and stuff do not count towards the hitbox. So you can move this thing very nicely into buildings and stuff. So that is one of the coolest pieces, and I wish Frontier is just going to do that with all of the pieces, like really give us the ability to move things into each other, because clearly it works. This piece, let alone, shows that it works. So why can't we just be able to at least put them right next to each other in the vanilla game? That would be really, really awesome. I understand obviously that there is a certain restriction for the consoles because of saving performance. I can totally understand that, but I mean, at least give us the chance to toggle that off ourselves, to just have the control ourselves to make that. But you can definitely tell over here I'm just very straightforward, making that habitat look good, putting some feeders in, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out, to be honest. It is also like a very nice little block, or like a very nice scenic element from the main view of the park. So if you look to the left hand side from the Giganotosaurus Island, which is the middle of the lake, you will have this mountain. If you look to the right hand side, you will have the Terry ponds we did in the last episode, and there are a couple of little things I'm going to do in the middle. So the open space we have is going to be a Dimetrodon area. That's the only one we are missing from the DLC, and a couple other things I'm also planning to finish that build off are on the list as well. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to what we can do. Also, speaking of looking forward, I needed kind of a new backstage area that is nicely hidden, and so I decided to go into this very area where we'll also have another oh my god, I forgot the name again. This wonderful thing where you can create dinosaurs. My god, I forgot this. hatching area. Whatever, you get it. My God, I forgot it. Too long ago that I played the game and just remember the names. Like, you know, that's the thing where they are being made and released. Whatever, I'm stupid. So yeah, you can see this is just meant to be like a little backstage area. I had a little bit of struggle here with the pathing, but eventually I managed to do that. There you go. This is the way I made this work. And then we also needed an arrival point or the control center of the Biosyn DLC. I just struggled to find that piece. It was a little bit of a weird thing over here. I forgot which piece has the Hyperloop. I wish we have a little icon that says, "Ah, yo, that's a building that has Hyperloop to it." So see, I was just checking, like, oh my God, this is the control center, and I took the control center of not of Biosyn, but the Jurassic World control center, and so I was stupid enough to just use that, and then I also placed this on the wrong spot. Yeah. I guess I was just stupid. But yeah, then I just connected these pieces here, the Hyperloop, with both sides, and then this area is also connected. Tried to, you know, put a pathway in between, which again didn't work out, and hitboxes, you know, I need my free build back at some point. But you can see it does also work, you know, in the base game. So I think it's always good to see what the base game can deliver versus what you could do with mods. And again, the gap in between those two has reduced, well, at least for the moment, because I've seen some mods that will come in the future that, oh my boy, they will again raise the bar so dramatically. And I really hope that Frontier sees this as a challenge and will catch up to that again, to grant access to all of these things for every player, also for the console players, because I think the game just has so much more potential when it comes to these things. Yeah, as I said, I was also trying to focus on amenities this time around, and so I did a little fix here. We were lacking some drinks, and we were lacking a little bit of souvenir coverage, and so I just fixed these little issues we had over here. Was a bit of a struggle. I needed to change certain things here and there because I try also to make these things look good and not just place them randomly everywhere. Also, thank you for the hint that I can save some of the color patterns and styles for the buildings. I just did so, and so that was a lot more smooth and straightforward to have these buildings look the way they should, even though it's not like fully finished, but I'm going to do this in the future. And you can see, as I said, I'm going to put another shop in here. I was just trying to find the right location and see what I can do. Reconfigured a couple of buildings to different styles or different products, just to make sure that every inch of the park is covered nicely. The reason for that is, even though it's Sandbox and I shouldn't care too much about it, the main reason to why I'm doing that is I want to see how much I can fill this park up with guests. Like, I really want to have this like a flourishing, good looking and well working park. And as you can see by the traffic that is appearing in the front here, putting down amenities really makes a difference. If I remember correctly, my desert park and the Arizona map I made, the Grand Canyon map, is just really not good in terms of guest flow. Like, I think I even have the same amount of people in here as I have in that park, because I just gave a crap about amenities. I shouldn't have, so I'm not sure if I will ever fix that, but just as a good knowledge, you should definitely focus on amenities if you want to have guests roam around your park, which I did. But now it's time to have a look how that all looks in the real-time part, and I can't wait to show it to you. Alright, I'm starting today's real-time part from the actual entrance of the zoo, or like not the entrance, but from the main street, and I called it zoo, right? It's meant to be a Jurassic Park or something, or Biosyn. What would this park, prehistoric park? How would you call that? Theme park? I don't know. But this is where you start your experience, and once you go over here, you can see how nicely the mountain we just did in the time lapse. It's just kind of, you know, insert into the background of this park. I really think it does a great job to fill in the landscape nicely without being like a little gap. Maybe the amount of towers is like a little bit extensive over here, or excessive, I should call it. But this is just a way to go. As you can see, there is this tower on top. There you can see this is the Giga Island in the middle. You've got another tower, and there is the Terry we did in the last episode. The cool bit about this is you can see that there is something going on, but you can't really see what. And this is why it's actually a really cool way to, you know, keep the interest. And oh, look at that, there's the Giga just pathing through the trees. And of course you can use the Hyperloop to go very quickly from the left to the right as well, which is important because we don't have a full circle in terms of you know, the pathway. Anyways, let's just take exactly this. So we're going to, I should relocate maybe this tree. This tree seems to be a little bit wrong. But yeah, let's move along this path over here. Then we have another little nice seating area over here where you get another cool glimpse of the park. You get another view of the Giganotosaurus Island. I feel like this table over here would be one of the coolest tables to have a dinner on. Like really, you're very quickly over here in an emergency shelter, and this is definitely an area for people who bring their own picnic and don't want to shop this at one of these larger facility areas. So if you go further over around this corner, plop, like that, you are in one of the more crowded facility areas, even though there's not really much going on over here. And then we can go all the way here, and then we will end up in the area of the PYRORAPTOR, which I'm going to sneak in real quick, and there you can see one of the PYRORAPTORs passing by. Look at that one. It's going to have a little snack here. Look at that little bite that just comes coming out of it. I love the fact that they have this little piece of meat then all of a sudden in there. I wish that the goat would also have a little bit of blood or something to it, but maybe they they didn't do this because of, I don't know why. Actually, I thought maybe it's because of child friendliness, but I mean, they don't even have Peggy anything anyway, so why not? But whatever. This is the habitat for the PYRORAPTOR, and it's really not too easy to see that from this angle, so I'm actually going to go to this angle and I'm going to speed up the time of day so we can see a little bit better how this habitat looks. Can you please be a bit quicker, sunlight? Hello? I don't want to have the whole night. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly set this to daytime, so we do have a nice view of this habitat. There you go. So yeah, if we go to the capture mode and we're gonna make the speed control go back to normal, this is the habitat. This is the little mountain. It's quite a large one for them, so they can have a good time in there. But I think I like it a lot with all these facility pieces over here. So it looks really like a little abandoned area that they kind of reconquered. And oh gosh, by far the PYRORAPTOR has the coolest skins of the new animals. Like really freaking cool. It's looking almost like a parrot over here, a slightly more terrifying parrot though, but yeah, that's the PYRORAPTOR. And jeez, looks so good. Look at that. I just also the model and stuff, like what Universal did with this model for the movie is really cool, and that just obviously goes a lot more towards how the Velociraptor would have looked, but especially like 3 times smaller, or maybe even 4 times smaller. But this is it. I think there's really not that much more to talk about. There is a lot more coming in the future regarding Jurassic World Evolution. However, I think for this park specifically, there's only one area to cover, which is that one, and that's going to be the Dimetrodon. And then we can actually call it a day, and the lake is done, and we are going to have like a little tour. I thought about having a monorail, but since we have the Hyperloop, I guess we won't. But yeah, so this is it. I really hope you guys enjoyed it so far. If you have enjoyed it so far and you want to see more, please consider subscribing to the channel, because we will do some more stuff like that in the future. Also, there's going to be a bit more cinematic stuff. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that before my holiday. And yeah, just enjoy your time. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in, and have a good time. Thank you so much. Stay safe, and goodbye.